inside all of the databases at once, first you're going to need to make sure that databases is selected on the left-hand side. Then up in the upper right-hand corner, you're going to see search inside databases. I'm going to click there and I'm going to type in my topic. And with a search, you want to do as few words as possible. I don't want to phrase it in a question such as, tell me about anxiety in middle schoolers. I don't even need to put the word in there. So I'm just going to put anxiety and middle school. And then I'm going to press enter to search. When you do that, you're still going to see all of the databases like you did before. Only now, if you look above the blue oval, you're going to see how many different articles or sources are found in that database. So for example, I can click on show results for book and author resources, and you'll see that it gives me 2 books. Now these are 2 fiction books, so it doesn't really have anything to do with my topic. So I'm going to go back, and then I'm going to go to Britannica School. Now, when you're doing a search of all the databases at once, this is when it's really helpful to just browse the databases in advance and read the descriptions so you know if you want to look in a database or not. So if I had looked at the databases before, I would know that teachingbooks.net is really just a resource that is going to give me interviews with authors and different things about books. I'm going to go ahead and click on show results. And since Britannica is an encyclopedia, it's going to have certain topics, and then it's going to give some basic information. So I could even click show more results, because remember there were 17,000, and it would open up a new screen that has additional results on it. I'm going to go back to the top. And if I want to look in an article, I would just click on it and it would open up a new window with the article. I'm going to go back and I'm going to take a look at environmental studies. Now, one of the things that you have to be careful about with these full database searches is if I click show results, so this first article right here, reports summarize anxiety disorders findings from Vanderbilt University, the influence of student engagement on, and it keeps going and keeps going and going. So when you do a search of all the databases, it's going to give you everything, whether it's a college level article, a newspaper article, a medical journal, everything is going to pop up. If you want to have articles that are easier to read for middle school, you're going to actually go into the database and you can manipulate some of the different things in there and change your search terms. I will tell you that a great source when you are looking for articles for middle school is Kid Infobits. If I click show results, the first one, living with anxiety, 1 in 3 teens has an anxiety disorder. That's a much better search than the one we had before. Also, Gale in Context would be a great one. All right. If I would like to search in one database, what I would do is first scroll down to the database that I'd like to use. And I'm going to use Gale in Context Middle School. That's the one I was telling you about at the end of the search that we were doing through all the databases. I'm going to click Open Now. And that opens up a new window. And you'll see it has topics of interest. If you ever don't know what your topic is going to be, you can actually browse topics in here. And I'm going to go ahead and in the search, click anxiety. And I'm going to see if I can find anything about anxiety in middle school. Now, sometimes you will see your topic and you can click on that. That just means it's a keyword that already exists, so it can take you to those articles immediately. Remember, you don't want to do a lot of extra words or phrase it like a question. I don't need to say, tell me about anxiety in middle school. It's not Alexa or Siri. Okay, I'm clicking on anxiety in middle school, and it gives me a couple of different options. First, you're going to have reference articles. So that is what it's showing me. So it says there's reference and 221 different options. There's biographies, there's videos, and you'll notice not all of these have to do with my topic. I'm just showing you the main parts. There's audio, there's magazines, and just scrolling, I see that first one, childhood fears and anxieties. That might be something that I want to take a look at. News. So those are going to be your newspaper articles or online articles. And then primary sources and creative works. As you go through, so let's just take this one for example. I'm going to click on childhood fears and anxiety. And when I go into the actual source, I see that it's a book review. So that's not going to help me with my research. So I'm going to go ahead and click back to my results. Now, one of the nice things about searching inside the database is I can filter my results over here on the right. So I only want content that is up to a level 4. So these are Lexiles, but typically a level 3 or lower, let's just go ahead and do a 3, would be good for middle school. So you'll see that went down to 60. Okay. And then if I want a current event article or a current publication, I can say that the earliest my article could be published was in 2012. So I'm going to say February 1st, 2012. It can go all the way to today. You can also say I want it to be from the past week, the past month, or the past year. So I'm going to go ahead and click apply. And now I'm down to 3 reference articles. So the more information you can give it, the more likely you're going to get something that you can use. You can narrow it by subjects. So let's say I was doing something specific on how the coronavirus is affecting anxiety in middle school. I might want to click on coronaviruses or COVID-19. This works for all of the databases. So if I were to close this one and go back to another one, they are all going to have that option where if I click open now, I can perform a search. And let's say this time I just want to do anxiety. You'll see that's one of the keywords you can search. And it gives me an overview. And then it's going to have all of those different topics again. Since that gave me so much information, I'm going to go back to home. And this time I'm going to click advanced search. And now I can say I only want it to have anxiety and middle school if I'd like. I can narrow it down by date, like I showed you before, by the type of content, by the title of the publication. So if I only wanted something from USA Today, I could put it there. I can say I need a document that contains images. So these are all options you can use in advance to narrow your search.